To my channel. In this video, following topics are discussed: false accusations and charges against Uthman. Please subscribe the channel to stay updated for more parts in this series. Efforts are made in making these videos. Helps us spread the message by sharing and like our videos. Please comment for any suggestion or views. Your help is greatly appreciated. Thanks. Charges against Uthman. During the first 6 years of his reign, Uthman ruled with good reputation, and he was more beloved by the Quraysh than Umar, says Azuri. Several victories were won. Many golden leaves were added to the history of Islam, and the banner of the crescent fluttered right from Morocco down to Kabul. But it is a strange anomaly that the people who once spoke highly of him brought several charges afterwards against the innocent Khalifa. If the charges are analyzed one by one, it will reveal to the readers that Uthman was free from the false accusation brought against him. Of the charges, the appointment of his own relatives to the important posts and the dismissal of the efficient governors were prominent. But on clear and impartial examination, the accusation will hardly appear to be just and true. In the first place, Muawiyah, the governor of Syria, was a near relation of Uthman, but this appointment had been made by Umar and was simply continued under Uthman. Sa'd, the conqueror of Persia, was appointed during the reign of Umar, but on minor complaints he was replaced by Mughira. But Umar expressed a desire at his deathbed that Sa'd must be reinstated, and for the fulfillment of his predecessor's desire, Uthman reappointed Sa'd to the governorship. But when a dispute arose between Sa'd and Ibn Masud, the treasury officer of Kufa, the former was again dismissed, and Walid bin Aqba was appointed in his place. Walid bin Aqba was a near kinsman of Uthman, no doubt, but his appointment was made in the beginning of his reign when he was free from these charges. It is also clear from the fact that when Walid was accused of drinking liquor, he was not only dismissed, but also given the prescribed number of stripes, as required by law. If Uthman was really actuated by any motive of partiality, he could have ignored this matter easily. After Walid, Sa'd bin Az became the governor of Kufa, but under him the rowdy elements of Kufa scored a considerable success, replaced by Abu Musa Ash'ari in the year 34 AH 654. AD Abu Musa Ash'ari had no blood relationship with the Khalifa. This man was appointed governor by Umar, but when the people of Basra accused him of partiality for the Quraysh, Uthman removed him and, in his place, appointed a man of their own choice. The greatest disturbance was created in Egypt, where Abdullah bin Sa'd was appointed in place of Amr bin Az. The former was the foster brother of the Khalifa, no doubt, but his services to the cause of Islam were of great importance. His African triumph over the Roman hordes, as well as his creation of a strong navy for the Muslim Empire, show that he was a man of genius and daring, and Uthman was fully right in giving him the appointment. In spite of that, when the insurgents reached Madinah and demanded his removal, he readily consented and appointed their own nominee, Muhammad bin Abu Bakr, in Abdullah bin Sa'd's place. From the above facts, it is quite clear that if nepotism and favoritism should have actuated him, he would have turned a deaf ear to the clamor against his relations. But he not only removed them on public complaints, but also had one of them striped on charge of drinking. It should also be borne in mind that some of the appointments were made during the first years of his reign when his hands were completely clean, according to many critics. So it can be safely said that the charges were absolutely baseless and the character of Uthman was perfectly free from the blemishes imputed to him. Uthman did relieve some of the old governors, no doubt, but not without definite reasons. Even Umar the Great had to depose heroes like Khalid Mughira and Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas. He had to take this course in the interest of Islam, but none can doubt even today his honesty of motive. It is further alleged that Uthman was extravagant. He gave away money to his relations and squandered the state treasury. This allegation is quite false. It is well known to all that Uthman was the wealthiest merchant in Arabia, and that was why he was passed by the name Ghani. His liberal contributions towards the cause of Islam won him great admiration in the days of the Prophet. A man who placed all his wealth except 2 camels in his youthful days at the disposal of the nation could also be kind to his kinsmen, and especially when he had money enough of his own to give and spend. He did not take any allowance from the state treasury for himself. His speech, as quoted by Tabari against such allegations, is noted here for the information of the general readers. When the reins of government were entrusted to me, I was the biggest owner of camels and goats in Arabia. Today I possess neither a goat nor a camel, save the 2 that are meant for the pilgrimage. It is alleged that I love my relations and I give them riches. As regards my love for them, it has never induced them to usurp the rights of others. I put upon them the obligations that are due from them. As regards my generosity towards them, I give them whatever I do out of my own property. As regards public property, I consider it lawful neither for myself nor for anyone else. Even during the times of the Prophet, Abu Bakr and Umar, I used to give large sums of my own earnings. This I did when I was yet a young man and as such stood in need of money. Now that I have reached the normal limit of my family age and days are coming to a close and I have made overdot all my possessions to my family, the misguided people say such things of me. I take nothing out of it, so that even what I eat out of my own earnings. The above statement shows that Uthman accepted nothing from the public treasury for his personal needs. He gave 1/5 of the booty of Battle of Tripoli to Abdullah bin Abi Sar because he promised him that in case of victory. But when complaint was made, he asked him to return the same. The mischief mongers further told that the Khalifa had reserved the state pastures for his own use and had forbidden the public to graze their camels and horses there. It was the duty of the Khalifa to maintain pastures for the upkeep of the war horses and camels. As these pastures were maintained by the state, the public was prohibited from making free use of these. This was done by Umar, and Uthman simply followed the order of his predecessor. The gravest charge laid at the door of the Khalifa by the mischief-mongers was the burning of the Holy Quran. As there were no standard copies of the Quran, great disadvantage prevailed all over the Islamic world. Uthman thought it desirable to standardize the text of the Quran. To carry out this plan, a committee was appointed under the supervision of which some fresh copies were made, and all the unauthentic copies were burnt. This action of the Khalifa was received with great admiration. But afterwards the Khalifa was thoroughly misunderstood, and the enemies raised a hue and cry that the Khalifa had caused the sacred volumes to be burnt. When complaints were brought against governors, the Khalifa asked the people to attend the following pilgrimage season with their grievances. All the governors met on the occasion, but nobody came forward with a grievance to put up. From this, it can be easily understood how false the complaints were. The Khalifa then called a council of the governors to devise ways and means to put an end to this mischief. It was unanimously decided that the Khalifa would deal firmly with the ringleaders and make examples of them. But Uthman was a man of meek temperament. He did not want that hundreds of lives should be massacred for his personal interest. He even refused to keep bodyguard at the door of his house for his personal safety. In spite of all qualities of head and heart, people misunderstood him, and the conspiracy was gaining ground day by day.